Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين اللهم يسر ولا تعسر رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. In our previous lesson, we looked at the importance of respecting the scholar of the knowledge, and it draws our attention in a way we need to understand a teacher deserves respect. We looked at the saying of Sayyidina Ali that says, if a person teaches me a letter, I become a slave to the person. The person can sell me, the person can keep me as a slave at home, or the person can free me. We've also looked at the advice of other scholars who made mention of what happened in terms of respecting the knowledge and respecting the scholars. Now, with all that, we know we're going to go to the third part of it, and that is ta'zeem al-kitab. So we look at respecting the knowledge, we respect the people who have the knowledge. Now, even the book itself deserves a respect. You don't take the book to study without making wudu or without having wudu. And also, in general, scholars of the past, they said that when you are studying, don't put one book on top of other as part of respect. But we'll be looking at that inshallah. ومن تعظيم العلم تعظيم الكتاب, as part of respecting the knowledge, respecting the book in which the knowledge is in. فينبغي لطالب العلم ألا يأخذ الكتاب إلا بالطهارة. So it is expected of a student of knowledge as he or she should not even lift the book that they study from unless they have wudu. It's very important to take it with wudu. Remember, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made knowledge to be nur, to be light. Al-ilmu nurun. Okay? Knowledge is light. When you make wudu, also you purify yourself. And nurun ala nur. It's just like light upon light. So it makes it easier for you to be able to study and also understand what you're learning. Whenever you cleanse yourself, it purifies you and makes you ready. And that also, as the Prophet ﷺ said, at-tuhur shatrul iman. Tuhur, cleanliness, is part of our faith. So when you are always clean, it makes it easy for you to be able to acquire or take knowledge. نعم. وحكي عن شيخ الشمس الأئمة حلواني رحمة الله عليه أنه قال إنما نلت هذا العلم بالتعظيم. This is one of the old scholars that were known at their time, and he was saying that I got this knowledge that I found, I didn't get it just like that, but بالتعظيم is because of the respect that I have for the knowledge. فإني ما أخذت القاغدة إلا بالطهارة. I have never lifted my books or the bag that contain my books unless I clean myself or I make wudu. والشيخ الإمام الشمس الأئمة السرخاني رحمة الله عليه تعالى كان مبتونا. So this sheikh, he used to have a stomach pain, like who cannot maintain wudu. So because of that, وَكَانَ يُكَرِّرُ فِي اللَّيْلَةٍ. So for one night he will perform, he will repeat wudu one night more than 17 times. 17 مرات. He will be making wudu 17 times, which means that he does read a book, but he repeat the book 17 times. Anytime he takes the book, he goes and make wudu and come and sit down and then read. When he finish, he goes back and make wudu and come and take the book and read for 17 times. Now let's pause for a while and look at it carefully. Wudu by itself, when you repeat wudu, if you have wudu and you go and make another wudu, you get the reward. Remember, wudu by itself is ibadah. Anytime you have wudu, you get reward for the wudu and the time in which you have wudu. Remember, at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, when he made Isra and Mi'raj, at that time prayer was not made compulsory until after Isra and Mi'raj. But the Prophet and the companions used to do optional prayer. All right. So at that time, when he came back, one of the things he made mention to his companions was He turned to Bilal and said, Ya Bilal, what were you doing extraordinary? For indeed, when I walked in Jannah, I, I heard your footstep behind me. Bilal told him, anytime I perform wudu, I make sure before I lose that wudu, I pray at least 2 rakat. And the Prophet ﷺ said, that is why you got that sharaf. That's why you get that status. So wudu by itself, if you are in a state where you really asking Allah something, or you feel like I really need this, I don't know it, I don't have any ways or means, go at night before you pray. Pray, make wudu, go and pray, make your dhikr. If you want, repeat the wudu, go back again. Do the same thing. Repeat your wudu, go back again. Wallahi, you will see the amazing thing that will happen. Anything that is bothering you, you feel like this thing I have no way, but I want to do something to get it. Wallahi, try it, you'll be amazed. Because the more you do that, it cleans you. When it cleans you, remember, because remember, always remember the concept. The Prophet ﷺ said, whenever you are clean, it increases your iman. When your iman is increased, you get more connection with Allah. When you get more connection with Allah, when you are worshiping Allah, your heart is fully content. And when you do that, Allah accepts your dua. So another sign of ijaba, of dua, is to make sure that anytime you do wudu, do it properly. I remembered our sheikh when he used to make wudu. When he washed his face, he washed the face, he makes sure he goes here, in between, in between his nose. You're thinking, why all this? He wants to make sure that every part has touched the water properly. So these are the scholars of the past as they go. So he read the book about 17 times at that night and made sure that at any given time he goes back to perform wudu before he come back and read the book. So these are the scholars of the past telling us, as part of respecting the knowledge, as you look at the time of the Ottoman Dawla Uthmaniyah, they respected the Quran to the extent a book, if Quran is on the shelf, a person in that room, or let's say in the masjid, there are Quran on the shelf, they cannot walk out of the masjid like that, because they feel it's part of disrespect to walk with the Quran behind them. They walk backwards out of respect to the Quran. It has nothing to do with Islam, but for them, from their heart, the reason why they do that, that is what matters. They do that out of respect to the Quran. So the scholars of the past, that is how much they respect their knowledge and also the books that contains the knowledge that they are learning. So they said that he made wudu that night over 17 times, going forward and backwards for any time that he read the book. لأنه كان لا يكرر إلا بالطهارة, because he will not repeat reading the book unless he cleans himself. And because he has stomach problem, he kept making wudu every now and then. وهذا لأن العلم نور, because the knowledge itself is light. والوضوء نور, and wudu is also light. فيزداد نور العلم به. So what happens is he adding more light on the knowledge itself, or he is adding light on the light of wudu. So that is amazing. ومن تعظيم الواجب ألا يمد رجله إلى الكتاب. As part of respect and wajib, compulsory aspect of respecting knowledge, do not stretch your leg facing the book. The same thing applies to, we are discouraged facing the east to stretch our leg facing the east. We don't do that. The same thing, if there's a book of knowledge, do not sit and stretch your leg on it like the way our boss is doing. So we need to avoid, anytime there's a book or anything of that sort, do not sit and you are not doing that out of disrespect, but as part of respecting the book, to avoid those sort of things. نعم. ويدع الكتب التفسير فوق سائر الكتب تعظيما. And also when you have let's say you have about 4 or 5 books to study, and this book is Quran, it has tafsir, it should be on top of the other books. But just when you are putting it down, like on the shelf, do not put anything on top of Quran. Tafsir is considered Quran and other ahadith and other sayings. So it's important that you don't put any book on top of it. But when it comes to studying by itself, do not put a book on a book when you're studying. Just take one by itself. When you finish, put it away and take the other one. These are all to show respect to the book. وَلَا يَدَعُ عَلَى الْكِتَابُ شَيْئًا آخَرَ. Do not put anything else on top of the book. Don't put anything else on top of the book. وكان أستاذنا شيخ الإسلام برهان الدين رحمه الله تعالى يحكي عن شيخ من المشايخ أن فقيها كان وضع محبرة على الكتاب. So this one is a story of one of the mashayikh, the scholars of the past, that he said one of the sheikh or one of the scholars at that time, mikhbar is ink that you used to write. What happened is he was writing and he put the ink on top of a book. Okay? مخبرة على الكتاب. He put the ink on top of a book. فقال له بالفارسية. And then he told him in the language of Faris. What is it? He told him a word. Birniyabi here more or less to say that what you're doing is totally forbidden. Why will you put the ink on the book? Now, let's look at the ink can be anything that is nothing. But scholars of the past, they are taking precaution on everything. You have the book on the ink on the book. What if accidentally it spilled? Okay? Out of respect of the book, you should not even risk anything to make the knowledge go away. So that is what he said to him. وكان أستاذنا القاضي إمام الأجل فخر الإسلام معروف بقادحان رحمه الله تعالى يقول إن لم يزد بذلك استخفافا فلا بأس. But if you did not do that just because of disrespecting the book, you put it next to the book or on top of the book for some conditions, or that is the only way you can use, then there's no problem with that. The intention here is not to disregard the book or make the book not important, but you did that as part of ways to make it easy for you. وَالْأَوْلَى أَنْ يَتَحَرَّزْ anhu. But it's very important to avoid that fully instead of getting into that. ومن تعظيم الواجب أن يجود كتابه الكتاب. And also يجود كتابة الكتاب. And also as part of important things that will help a student of knowledge, يجود. When you are studying, you should take notes. All right? You should take notes. ولا يقمرت ولا يقرمت ولا يقرمت. Normally, like those of you who take notes, the scholars of the past, the reason why they left this murabba, these margins around, is for people to be able to take notes. All right? ولا يقرمت means do not write so tiny. You know, you're writing tiny notes, you're taking notes, but it's so tiny. When you do that, what will happen? The time you are studying, your eyes are okay. That's why you are able to put those notes. As you grow old, your vision also decreases, and your own writing will be a problem. You cannot even get it. Not only you, those who come after you. If they want to follow that, you have deceived people for nothing. There's information there, but they cannot say. So do not write it very tiny that you yourself, it will be a problem for you in future. وَيَتْرُكُ الْخَاشِيَةَ إِلَّا عِنْدَ الضَّرُورَةِ. Do not also write everywhere except when you don't have a choice. So which means that the idea here is take notes, but do not. Always you are encouraged to leave this unless it's very important. And try, if you are taking notes in the book, do not take note inside it. You can see. So what happens is you can number the word and then go to the end and write the meaning of the word so that you'll be able to easily get it. Now, ورأى أبو حنيفة رحمه الله تعالى أو رأي أبو حنيفة. Abu Hanifa, he said regarding this, كاتبا يكرمت في كتابه. So Abu Hanifa, he saw someone who is taking notes, but the way he's taking notes is too tiny, and he said to him, فقال لما تقرمت خطك. Why are you just scribbling, writing tiny like that? In ishta tandam. If you live long, you regret. All right, if you live long, you regret. So that is your sight will tend to be less of what you have today, and you will regret it. وَإِن مُتَّ تُشْتَمُّ. And if you die also, you will be cursed. All right? Why is it so? Now, for instance, you're sitting there learning, you have the books, you're taking notes. Maybe Some generations to come, your children want to use the book. All right. So you've taken notes. They thought that okay, they want to see the explanation that you were given at that time, so that they can add it to what they have. But they can't read your handwriting. Okay. So now they get angry of not, why will you even write if you don't even write it well? So it's like if you grow old, you regret, or if you die, you will be cursed, or people will say things bad thing about you because of what you did. Okay, so what he meant by tushmit, you'll be insulted, يعني إذا شخت إذا شخت وضعف بصرك ندمت على ذلك. If you grow old or you grow older and your eyes became so distant, weak, you will regret what you did. نعم. نعم. وحكي عن شيخ الإمام مجد الدين السرجكي أنه قال ما قرمتنا إلا ندمنا. We have not scribbled until we really regret it in future. وَمَنْ تَخَبْنَا إِلَّا نَدِمْنَا. And we did not also memorize, lack of memory, or when you depend on just memory without taking notes, you also regret. If you scribble without writing it properly, you will regret. If you also depend on only your memory, you will regret. You think, oh, I know it, and you go home, you want to practice, you forgot. All right, so you don't want to do that. It's always good to take notes. وَمَا لَمْ نُقَابِلْ إِلَّا نَدِمْنَا. And also when we don't check, we don't follow up. So when we take notes or whatever, it's good to always follow up to try to get what you've learned. So when I study in front of the sheikh, when I go home, I want to quickly practice so that I don't forget what I was told. So not checking back and forward what I did also will let you regret. وينبغي أن يكون تقطيع الكتاب مربعا فإنه تقطيع أبي حنيفة رحمه الله وهو أيسر. So scholars have brought different ways of taking notes, and the best way is what Imam Abu Hanifa did, that is to have those sides murabba'an, those sort of sides, and take your notes from there. And if you look at the old books, you will see the whole book like that, the space at the side, and you can see notes in it in different writing to tell you some more or less meaning of some of the words, or trying to make a commentary of the lesson. So he said that Abu Hanifa, his idea of making this space is more important, or people agree with that better. Now, وينبغي ألا يكون في الكتاب شيئا من الخمرة فإنها تضيع الفلاسفة لا 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 صنيع السلفي. So also when he said that when you are doing things, try to avoid red writing. Red writing can be red pen or whatever, because what happens is also have effect of people's sight. ومن مشايخنا من كره استعمال المركب الأحمر. So there are some scholars who said that do not use red pen at all in your books. ومن تعظيم العلم تعظيم الشركاء في طلب العلم والدروس. As part of respect of your knowledge, respect your companions who are also studying with you. ومن يتعلم منه, and also whoever they are studying with. والمتعلق مذموم إلا في طلب العلم والتملك مذموم إلا في طلب العلم. And also um, whatever we do in terms of jealousy or whatever is not good except in seeking knowledge. So it's very good, important to always look up to somebody and you want to become like somebody. فإنه ينبغي أن يتملك لأستاذه وشركائه ليستفيد منهم. It's very important to copy your teacher or copy your friends if only you are learning from them. وينبغي لطالب العلم أن يستمع المعلم والحكمة بالتعظيم والحرمة. So it is encouraged for students of knowledge to always listen to the teacher and also listen to the wisdom that is added and also show respect. وإن سمع مسألة الواحدة أو الكلمة الواحدة ألف مرة. It doesn't matter. You know this. You heard it before and they are talking about it. always act as if you've never heard it, even if you've heard it 1,000 times. The moment you sit in the environment of knowledge, don't worry about knowing something before. It doesn't matter if what you are hearing, you heard it before. Just listen to it attentively. Sometimes the same thing that you know, you get different understanding of the same thing. So it is very important. It doesn't matter how much you know those. Keep going and listen to it again. من لم يكن تعظيمه بعد ألف مرة كتعظيمه في أول مرة فليس بأهل العلم. Whoever does not listen attentively with respect with the knowledge, even if he heard it times 1,000 times as he heard it the first time, is not considered as one of those who seek knowledge. Inshallah, we stop here and then we'll finish with this part of our lesson inshallah on Monday. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت ونستغفرك ونتوب إليك. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.